Okay, welcome to the Reality House social media presentation. I think it's very clear from this statement of why we're doing this. There's a huge amount of interest in social media, and the key thing that we as a digital media agency have to try and explain is what actually you can do with social media. Now, on the same page as this, you'll see a video, not published by us, but one which has been viewed on YouTube 2.5 million times, which gives an overview of the social media landscape, and I do strongly recommend you look at this. It gives you a real idea of the scale of what's involved worldwide with social media. It's one of those trends that, yes, it could be a fad, but I really don't think so. It's just too big to ignore now. The millions and billions of people involved make this something which you really must consider as a business. And to give you an idea, I thought I'd give you a quick run through the main sort of social landscape of this. Now, social media falls into several different brackets. At the very top here you can see the publishers, the Wikipedias, the blogs. This is user-generated content. This is ordinary people in everyday life publishing their information out onto the web. It's a vast area. It's people getting involved, doing things. If you can engage with those people, of course, you can do very well. The sharing part of social media is things like this YouTube video. It's where people have videoed something, taken pictures and uploaded them to Flickr, so they put a presentation on SlideShare. It's the feeling that, yes, actually this is of some value, I can put this out to the wider world, which in essence is what I'm doing with this video now. Discussions, very old one to a certain extent, in that things like MSN Messenger are actually reducing in usage at the moment. Their share of the market is reducing, I should say, rather than actually. There's obviously a lot more people using them, but as a share of percentage of the market, it's actually dropping. We're great lovers of Skype, but it's in terms of internet traffic, it's going down. But obviously, the usage is growing, and the reason for that is that the social networks themselves are being the place where people communicate. So rather than your child logging on to MSN Messenger and talking to their friend on MSN, they'll now log on to their Facebook page and talk. But it's important to note that social networking, Facebook, LinkedIn, these closed spaces where they're private spaces where you have to log in to see what's going on, they are now massively dominant, and they are also hugely various in the sense that it's not just your 11-year-olds to your 22-year-olds. The fastest growing group on Facebook are actually 56 to 65-year-old women, so it's a massive market. Microblogging is slightly different in that that's a public arena, whereas Facebook is a closed area. Twitter is available on the web. You can just go and see a Twitter page without any problems at all, and you get little bits of information posted in from mobile phones. Facebook is obviously trying to compete with Twitter because they now have public pages, and they also have mobile phone connections as well, which is where things are going. Live streaming, just as a quick overview, is where you take the information from places like Facebook and Twitter and feed it out to other sites. It's something called RSS, which allows you to do this, and it's a big area. Live casting, this is basically television on the web. There's a lot of this out there. Probably the biggest, most well-known one is the BBC iPlayer in the UK. Virtual worlds, not my cup of tea, I'll be honest. This is where people take on a new identity and go into Second Life, one of these other worlds, and act, but it's massively popular. Second Life shrinking a little at the moment. Perhaps it's a little bit too much effort to do it all, perhaps. Social gaming, again, I'm not a games person, but a huge population out there is playing each other online. So, you have somebody in South Africa playing someone in Mauritius, playing someone in New York. And then we've got the MMOs. I can never remember the name of these, but it's massive multiplayer operations. This is something like World of Warcraft, where somebody, again, takes on an identity and plays battles with somebody from across the globe via the web. This is the sort of range of social media, and it's massively popular, and it's why you need to be thinking about it. So just how popular? Okay, to give you an idea, search engines in the UK in late 2009 were taking up 12% of UK web traffic. Social media was 11%. In the US, Facebook has overtaken Google. You can see that that's the trend here in the UK as well. So we must be engaged. Think about life without Google. Interesting that shopping sites are there at 9% as well. In terms of social media, Facebook is the dominant player. You can see from the percentages here. If you take YouTube out of this equation, it's even more dominant. But a quick note, Club Penguin, which is aimed at very small children by Disney, actually has about 1.5% of the UK market, so it's not far behind Twitter, just as a quick aside. If you look at the individual areas, Facebook, 400 million users, it's a biggie. 24 million active users, that means at least an hour a day on there. 700,000 new users every day. These are people who are your customers, and they're talking about you. You need to be there. LinkedIn, definitely worth talking about for business to business. This is such a major thing for recruitment. If you're looking at senior level recruitment, LinkedIn is the place to go. And as you can see here, we're talking about some very upmarket, very, very top flight people. The male launch of 64% is shifting, and as you can see, we're talking about really serious decision makers here. Anyway, well, that's the end of part 1. I now have to stop so that things will be fine in terms of YouTube, and I'll catch you up in part 2. Thank you.